How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you, Brian?
Yeah, doing really good, thank you. And appreciate you taking the time to on your busy schedule to share with us a little bit this evening. And just wanted to give you a first opportunity just to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Well, I'm from the Lumbee Tribe, North Carolina. I'm a singer-songwriter, and I've been doing singing and performing for over a decade now, and I've been doing a lot of work in the Native community and have worked with some really great artists, and just basically trying to, put my music out there and for people to hear my music, but also see that Native people are, we do different types of styles. There's this, kind of break down stereotypes about how Native people are viewed, and that we can be contemporary, and that we have, our different flavors. And so it's about sharing in the culture, but also just awareness of my music and the positive message of my music. But I've been doing, singing and performing all across the country and in Europe. And, it's my lifelong mission. And I also have a nonprofit organization called Jana's Kids that I have scholarships available for kids, and I've had that since 2002. And it's just been something that I feel it's a good thing to give back. And as an artist, I've been blessed to have a lot of supporters out there who are helping with Jana's Kids as well. And so it's just, something to do for the Native community, because we all need to help each other out. And specifically Native people, but just all of us coming together and really helping and spread a positive message in any way. With me, it's my art, it's my music. That's how I spread positive message. But other people can do it in different ways, and it's it's what I love to do and what I've been doing, and I appreciate all the support from all my fans and friends who have been there with me through many years. So it's great.
Well, I love what you said about the diversity of Native people, because it's very true, and it's one of those things that we strive here at Chaos to show. I know G-Dub, Gary Galbraith, does a show on Friday evenings. He used to be here on Sunday, but he's been doing it for over 25 years and showing the diversity of Native people across the lands, and from jazz to funk to to traditional, to everything, and so it's good to reiterate that Native people are as diverse as all people.
Yep, absolutely.
And thank you for the work that you do. I know that you do help Kisa with good thinking a lot, and we do appreciate that. And it's true, if what he says rings true in my head, and what the elders have told me is, like, if our sole purpose for being here is to help each other, to lift up each other, and I can't stress that enough in our life, especially in the today's world, the way it's going. But we can turn it around, and all people are beautiful and need to be uplifted, and so thank you.
Absolutely.
And I know that you just performed at Carnegie Hall Friday night with Sarah McLachlan, and wanted to hear a little bit about that. But I first wanted to, when did you get started? When did you start to write? How was your process? Were you always singing?
No, I wasn't always singing, actually. I've always loved music, but I didn't start singing. I didn't really notice my talent, I guess, to recognize that I liked doing singing and performing until I was about 16. I started singing in my church, and it kind of went from there, and then high school choir, and then karaoke, and then record deal. So I kind of went that way, but it wasn't something that I thought that I was going to do for my entire life. It was something that I enjoyed doing when I was in my teenage years, and then it kind of just, it gave me the confidence that I thought, well, this is what I can do, and I want to try this out. My dad's a singer and a drummer. He was, we had musicians in our family. My brother's a drummer, and so music's always been in the family, but it wasn't something that I thought to be something professional. even though my dad was professional for a while. But I just, I felt like it was the right thing for me. And so, I didn't, it wasn't as though I felt like I needed to have something to say at that time. It's more like I just needed to sing and kind of see if I can do this. And then as far as, me having something to say, it took a few years because I kind of went out there thinking, well, I can be a pop star, I have a great voice, it'll be easy, not a big deal. It ended up being where, there's tons of girls out there with great voices and pretty and blah, blah, blah. But, something has to separate me. And besides me being native, I needed to have something to say. Music, in the end, should be really about the truth and the true feelings, and it can't just be about, just these false feelings that you're not really putting yourself into and really feeling. So it took me a couple of years, a few years actually, probably about 4 years before I realized, okay, well, this, I have to speak on my own. I can't let someone else write songs for me. Not that it's not bad, it's just for me, I felt like I had to have my own voice in my music. So I really kind of just dug down deep and really opened myself up emotionally to, okay, well, this is who I am, this is what sets me apart, because I'm different, I'm me, I'm Jana, so that's what sets me apart, and I'm going to have things to say. And it took a while, and that's what I tell a lot of aspiring singers, there's a lot of talent out there and there's a lot of competition, but at the same time, you can't just go out there and, yes, there's American Idol and all these reality shows and these great singers, but what are they contributing? What do they have to say? I mean, unless you have something to say, you're not going to last long in the business, because people want to connect with someone who means, who really, for longevity, someone who really can express emotions that we're all feeling and say it in a truthful way. So it took me a while to realize that I had to do that. And so that, my writing process is really, it's not like that I can sit and write every day, because sometimes I just don't have that emotions in me to do it. So I usually write, a lot of times I have songs that come to me in my dreams. And so I will wake up in the middle of the night, and I'll have dreams, or I'll wake in the morning, and I'll have lines that come to me, and I'll write them down when I wake up, or sometimes in the middle of the night, it arouses me from my sleep, and I have a song or melody in my head. I have to record it on my phone, or I have to write it down. So a lot of the times it comes to me when I'm not trying to be creative. It just flows out of me when my mind is ready to, have it come to me. So I don't have a process. It's just, unless I'm forced to write a song, which that's really hard, when somebody's like, okay, just write a song. Well, I can do that, but sometimes, for me personally, if I were to write for myself, it usually has to be something where I'm in an emotion, a different state of mind. So it doesn't just come off the cuff. I have to, it'll be random for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I know when I write a little bit, not music, but I write a little bit, and sometimes I'm not inspired. I ride the bus every day, and I'll take the bus, and then I'll just be thinking of something, and I'll just start writing. And it's like that motion. I'll see that one person that does something to my heart, and then I just start writing, and talk a lot about the story that's been unfolding for a long time, especially here in this country. And so I know that for me, that I that's how my process is. If I'm like emotional, I tugged on my emotion side, I'll start to write a little bit, or I feel that what I have to say sometimes, I think a lot of people go through this. This is how I go through it. I really want to write and say something, and then I'll wait a while, and then the spirit of it hits me, and then I'll start to write, and then I realize that I'm not the only one feeling it.
Right. Oh yeah.
And,
absolutely.
And so I really like to share it, and So I think that's great.
That's when, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say that's when you know that you've got something special when other people can connect to what you're feeling in your song and your emotion or whatever your art, that's when it's just awesome. That's having that connection.
And you wrote a book, American Indian Story.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a Grammy-nominated album from the same name. Can we talk a little bit about that? How the book got started and.
Yeah. Well, it started basically. I had recorded the album, and anyone who has the album, there's a little insert in the CD that has a story about Chalkin on her journey, and the album is about her journey and her story. And so when, I had several suggestions of people saying, well, why don't you expand on the story? So it's a nice little short story. Why don't you expand on it, write a book? I'm like, well, first of all, I've never written a book before. I'm not an author, and, it's a daunting task in itself to write a novel, especially when it's not when it's fictional. And so I, originally we had thought about having a ghostwriter, who's basically have someone who's already an author to write it, but then we give them the content. Here's the story, you fill in the blanks. It ended up being that we just kind of took it on ourselves because we felt that it was, our story, and I say we, meaning my writing partner, Stephen Galfus, who also helped me write The American Story. So we just decided, well, let's just try it out. And so we spent several months in 2 different states, through Google. We're just back and forth, writing. Well, what do you think about this? Here's this chapter. Well, let's do this. So we ended up it just came to us, and then we were like, well, let's just continue writing. I mean, it was a very, very challenging process, and I've always said I give so much kudos to writers and authors who do this for a living, because it's a very lonely profession, a very lonely art form, because you're just by yourself and you look at a blank page and you just have to come up with these wonderful stories out of nowhere that you're just making up. It's fun on one level, but it's very hard. With music is very collaborative, at least with me. I'm always working with other people and I'm bouncing ideas, and it's a very collaborative thing. And so this was very different because I was just sitting and staring at a computer at a blank page and having to come up with these, So it was a challenge, but I enjoyed doing it. And and so we have this short story, a novel that came from a short story. I'm very proud of it, and we're looking for a major publisher right now. We've had it with a smaller publisher, and we're now seeking to get it out there so it could be available to everyone. I mean, right now you can get it on my website. But, I'm very proud of doing that, but not sure if I would do another novel in the near future. It's a lot of work. I'd rather be spending that time doing music and what I really love to do. So, very, very proud of that.
But absolutely, suppose what we were talking about earlier, that if you could set your mind to it, you could do it.
Absolutely.
And
that's basically what happened. Is that it came to the point where I felt a need for it, and you know what? No one else. If you didn't feel someone else can do it, and usually you just got to do it yourself, and you got to put in the work, and in the end, it pays off. If you put in the time, it will pay off. And so that, for me, that's what happened. But it's a lot of hard work.
Yeah. So you talked about collaboration. Is there anybody that you would like to work with that you haven't worked with, or
Oh gosh, well, I mean, my idols. Well, I've already worked with one of my idols, and I actually sang with her Friday night, Sarah McLachlan. So that was a treat, to be honest. But that was amazing. But my other idols, Mariah Carey, I listened to, Barbra Streisand, Stevie Wonder, Alicia Keys. I'd love to work with any of those. Obviously, those are amazing talents. But yeah, as far as you know, what I was actually thinking about a couple of years ago, and I hopefully would love to do this. Is I would love to do something with Buffy St. Marie and really kind of do something really cool with her. And I met her, and she's just such a cool lady, and I'd love to do something with her.
Yeah, she's on fire.
What?
She's on
fire.
fire.
She's totally on fire.
We got to see her this year, the first time, for me anyways. Been following her for years and years, 20 years, and got to see her up here north, up at Still-Squamish, and 70-some years old, and man, is she rocking.
Oh, you would not even know how old she is. She can do things that like a 20-some-year-old can do, and it's just ridiculous. So, I mean, she's totally on fire. I mean, that's somebody would like to actually write something with her and just knock it out. You know,
amazing. But
that would be a dream.
But you had I'm looking at this photo, and Lorena McKenna, Amy Patty, Elizabeth, and Andrea from the Core of the Chorus, and wow, Sarah McLachlan, and so it looks like you had a good evening there.
We did. I mean, it was a great evening for Kate Winslet's charity for autism. Great cause. Definitely a condition that has afflicted a lot of people, and just the awareness, and it was just a wonderful night that you just got some great artists that came together to help out and help lend their talent to this great cause, and again, it was just an honor for me to be in the presence of such great talent. I mean, just, like I said, Andrea Kors of the Kors, and you had the Haley of the Celtic Women, of course, Sarah McLachlan. I mean, but it was great because it was an all-female cast, and then we just came together and just, that's when music is at its best, when it's just no egos, nothing but just music and positive energy, and it just was a great evening. So, it was definitely a highlight.
I would have loved to see you singing with the 200 voice choir.
Oh my gosh! Well, I think I might have some video on that that someone has. Yeah, because I mean, technically, Carnegie doesn't allow video, but apparently there was a secret video that was made. So it was pretty amazing because I sang a gospel tune called "The Storm Is Passing Over." And it was just me and the choir, no backup, anything. It was just a cappella with the choir. And it was very, very spiritual, very uplifting. And, the kids from the choir, the high school kids from New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, and they all came together. And it was a great vibe. We had a great time. But yeah, it was pretty empowering.
Yeah, I bet. Just looking at the picture, just like the glow of the background. I can imagine being there with all those little.
Yeah, there's nothing like Carnegie Hall. I mean, it's a different energy and vibe. With the history of the place, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
It was an honor to be there.
Well, it sounds like you had a good time.
Yeah.
We talk a little bit just about your the new album you have out, New Moon Born.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the album's been out for a bit, but I've actually have a single that's out, "Stay With Me, Baby." That's my new single. I'm working on new material right now that's going to be coming out next year. I'm really excited about. I also finally, I've been telling people for a few years now about my movie, but I actually got the DVD yesterday. It's called Raptor Ranch. It's my first movie, and I'm really excited about that. So once that comes out, I want to let everybody know about that. But hopefully it will come out at the beginning of next year. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, some great stuff coming up, and again with some new music. But yeah, it's just been just really great for me creatively this year, and I'm excited about 2013.
I haven't seen the movie Crooked Arrow yet, but you were in that one too, as well.
Well, I did the music for that. I had some music in that, and that's a great movie, really great movie. And but I had music that was in that, and Fly Wild Alaska. That this season, early this year. So yeah, it's really cool. I mean, some really good projects, and I'm working on some other movie projects. Not just to have my music in, but just to do some acting. So I want to try. I want to get this movie out for me, but I also have some other movie possibilities for the future. I want to do something different. So I'm excited.
Well, it seems like you're exploring all the media arts and having fun with it. That's what it's all about.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we talk, like some of the, from where you started to where you are now. Just like I was telling you on the phone, my heart's a little heavy with a lot of some of the folks, younger people that they crossing over too early, and just talk about a little bit about your journey and how. I know you do a lot of things for helping Native youth and achieve their dreams and stuff. Could we just share a little bit about, I don't know, what's in your heart that you would like to say to them, those that are listening that need that little bit of extra, I guess, I guess, I don't know. I have a word for it.
Well, I mean, it just. It makes my heart heavy, and it makes me so sad to know that in our country, there's these kids that are in such need of just attention and needing someone to say, hey, I'm there for you, I care for you. It's really those simple emotions that a lot of us take for granted that ends up being that these kids feel like there are no answers left, and the only answer is to, take their lives. And it just kills me because there's so much out there, and there's so much opportunity, there's so much more to life that I don't think that these kids know about. And it's been, again, my mission to go out there and be positive and try to inspire, but sometimes it slips through the cracks, or either it's not enough, or maybe it just maybe doesn't get heard because something bad happens, and then it goes back into slipping into this depression. But it's really about, having some type of, setup in the tribe somehow, either like we were talking about, like a hotline, or some type of connection where these kids can talk to someone, even if it's not like a therapist. It doesn't have to even be a therapist, or it could just be someone just so they can vent to get out their feelings, so they feel like there's someone there that cares. And any way we can to set up something. I mean, I know sometimes when I'm feeling frustrated, I have to just vent, and it's not venting to a wall or venting to myself. I have to talk to someone. So it really is important, that simple thing of sharing and listening to kids in need. And because if that doesn't happen, then it ends up being where they feel like they're not loved, they're not taken care of, and there's no answers for them, and they just feel there's nothing left for them. And some way we have to set up some type of support system to where we can go to someone in the tribe, a tribal leader, or someone in the church, or someone who's some type of point person, or a couple people who are appointed in the tribe to say, hey, my phone will be on 24/7, for this weekend, or we switch off weekends to where if you need, this is my phone, just call me if you need to talk. It's just about caring. It really is those simple things, and it just saddens me that some people feel like there are no other choices, but there are. There are so many opportunities and so much joy in life if it's just shown, and if it's just, it's just a smile or so a little thing to say, hey, I'm thinking about you. You know, I understand where you're going through, or even if you don't understand, just listening. And I just don't think we have a support system in some, you know, in some of the tribes. In some of those tribes, we just kind of, you know, we're supposed to take care of each other. We have to be there for each other, like we said earlier. And sometimes it just falls through the cracks, and we can't let that happen. I mean, we can't continue to let this happen. And so, you know, any way that I can help in some way. I mean, it's, you know, we talked about kids helping out, but any way that I can do, you know, help. Of course, fine, I'm there. But it's just tragic. It just shouldn't be happening.
Absolutely, I think that that's our, again, what I said at the beginning. Its sole purpose is to help one another, and you know, nobody knows what the other person is walking through. Sometimes where I worked, I've been there 13 years, and I remember I whenever I get stuff, I work in a library, and so whenever I get anything, I would walk it through the building, and instead of sending it through mail, most part I'd hand deliver it. And there's 5 floors where I'm at. The 4th floor is where people deal a lot with money and people's lives, and so you could feel the tension. And I'd walk in, and this is my second day there, and I'd walk through, and I'd be say hello to everybody, you know, how you doing, just smile at them and walk down. By the time I got downstairs, I had like 20 emails from people going, thank you, you know, no one's ever really acknowledged us up here. And
wow.
It's like, you know, like those are the kind of things that you know, not everybody's gonna do the same thing, but you know, we all can do something.
Yeah, it's like it's not that didn't take a lot, you know, a lot of effort, but just a little bit goes a long way. A little smile, or hi, I'm thinking of you, or email to say thank you, or I'm here for you. It doesn't take much. It's not like we're asked, you know what I mean? And those little things can make a difference in somebody's day. You know, just showing that, okay, I'm there for you. So, you know, and when it's constantly every day where someone feels like no one cares and no one, and they're just being ignored, after a while they feel like they aren't anything and that they're not worth anything, and then that's when things get really bad, and that's when you know, the mind starts thinking things that shouldn't be thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, we got a couple more minutes. I know you're busy. You just came off stage, and you know, it's, I don't know what's it's 8:30 in New York. I grew up in upstate New York, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So,
yeah.
Are you in Manhattan? Of course. Is that?
No. I'm right outside of New York. I'm right outside in Greenwich, but yeah, in the tri-state area.
How's things there? People recovering as best as they can with the.
Yeah, as best. I mean, it's, you know, there's a lot of this damage that I'm not sure how much is going to get fixed or get ever, you know, fixed because of the extensive damage. I mean, there's still the beaches around the area are just, I mean, it's just like the shoreline. It's like a different shoreline. There's no beach, you know, at least where in Greenwich, like the beaches are completely different now. I mean, and how it's receded. So, I mean, it's different. But, you know, people are picking up, you know how New York is. I mean, there's people just, they're resilient, and
I think
you know.
I think they from my experience and seeing different things, talking to people and relatives that I have there, that New York seems to do great in crisis.
Right.
You know, they pull together, they help each other.
Yes.
You know, things stop.
Even though, yeah, I mean, the image of New York being this, you know, people are kind of bitter and like nasty, but you know what? Like you said, in times of crisis, everyone is like, "What can I do to help? How do we help each other?" That's when it's like, wow, that's the real New York. You know, that's how people really are. And of course, you don't want it to be a crisis all the time, but I mean, you know, when things get tough, they know how to really kind of buckle down and take care of things. So.
Yeah. my hope and prayer is that we start to do what we should be doing, and these crises that we have, like we don't have to have them to help each other.
Exactly.
Let's
not have to go through these crises in order to exactly.
Because we're already doing them.
Because we want to do things.
Yeah.
Because we have to.
Yeah. So I appreciate you taking time to call in and sharing, and I'm gonna play the Enlightened Time. I know that like I said, I played a bunch of songs the first hour to get people raring, and but this one, the Enlightened Time, it won an award at major film festivals around the world, and was well as an Emmy, Native American Music Award, for Best Short Music Video.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd like to play that just before we close out, but I wanted to give you the opportunity. I always ask my guests if there's something that we didn't talk about that's on your heart that you want to share. I just appreciate all you do. I know that you help lots and lots of kids, and you help the people. I really appreciate that. I want to thank you for helping, again, my friend Kisa from Good Thinking. You've always been supportive with him and helping the people get the warmth. I just wanted to put that public out there from my heart. I just appreciate that work that you do. It's really super important.
Well, it's something that I think that we should do, and helping each other out. And I just appreciate, the support that I've had for these many years I've been performing from the Native community, and my brothers and sisters out there, my Native brothers and sisters. So I just, it's really awesome to do what I do. I can't complain, even when I kind of get bummed about things and I wish things would go a different way. I'm just blessed that the many people that I've met throughout my journeys, and I hope to continue to meet more. But yeah, it's a pretty cool thing that I do, and I love it, and I appreciate the support from everyone.
All right. Well, thanks, and